Hey guys, and welcome to the In Tune podcast where we discuss the music that makes us mindful. Today I have singer-songwriter and pop country artist Miss Gracie Carol. Hey girl.
I am forever changing. I don't mind rearranging. You've got to crawl before you walk. Routines I never bother, 'cause my mind can change by the hour, and I can live without a clock. Oh, don't you worry about me. Oh, 'cause I'm right where I should be. I'm doing just fine. Gonna paint my walls with my own design. Don't rush me, 'cause I'll be on my...
Hi, girl.
Gracie, thank you for coming.
Thank
How
you
are
for
you?
having me. I'm
Yeah.
so good. I'm so excited to be here. This is just like the light that brought the beauty of my day today.
Oh
so
my god.
thank you.
I literally describe you to people as like the biggest ball of light. Like
Oh,
literally right when
thanks.
I met you, like we were going to a session and you were just like this sun that came in. You
Oh
were
my
just like, and I
gosh.
was like, she has to come on the podcast because
I-
like it's just the most inspiring, beautiful thing. And I
you
love
really
that.
did though. You did that exactly. Like I met you and you needed me on here. I was
Yeah.
like, perfect. We just met like a couple days ago
I
too.
know. It's crazy. I was like, no, because, and then I looked at, like, I was like going through your profiles and things and looking, and I was just like, oh my God. It literally, what is your, can you tell the people what your profile on Instagram says? It's like my favorite thing ever.
What?
It
A
says
girl
something
who
along,
sees the good.
yep, a girl who
Yeah.
sees the good. And I was like, she is amazing. I love this.
I think that describes me perfectly. And honestly, if you don't see the good, you're not going to find the good in other people, in my opinion. So, the good is just the best thing ever. And it's what brings light and beauty to the world. So, why not just spread it and enjoy
I love
it?
that. I
Thank
love that so
you.
much. You're like, honestly, like your music directly flows with that vibe too. Like there's nothing about you where you're like, that doesn't make sense. Like when you're listening to your music, when you're watching your videos, when you're like reading like everything that you have to write, like in your comments and everything like that, it's just all very unified and connected. And I think we just need so much more of that in the world.
Thank
So,
you. Thanks for
yeah.
saying that about my music too. I really, whenever I put out a song, I like to put out what I'm feeling in that moment, and I want other people to know that I'm feeling this way right now, and you could possibly too. But like, don't worry because we're gonna get through it together.
Yeah.
Like,
I love
how
that.
fun
That's
is that?
like, yeah, and it is fun. A lot of it's so much fun. Some of it's really heartfelt and like some of it's really light and like so much fun to dance to.
Mhm.
And I was just like vibing, and like before this, I was just listening to all of your music on
You
like
were.
Spotify, and I was like chilling, and I was just like, this is my friend. This is my new friend.
Oh my God, I love you. I thought it was hilarious because we know a bunch of the same people too.
I know. We were just like, you texted me because immediately after they dropped the round that we're both playing on, you were
Yes.
like, we're on the same round. And it's
I
like,
know, like what a coincidence.
I'm just surprised I haven't met you earlier, to be honest.
Me too.
So, yeah.
And you've been here for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I've been here about 4 years now, a little over 4 years.
And played so many rounds.
Yeah.
Too. Like
It's
what?
so crazy. It's like we
love
met
that.
when we were supposed to.
I know.
Yeah.
That's just the best feeling.
I agree. Do you believe in that kind of thing where you
Oh
like,
yeah, fate. Yes,
Totally.
100%. I think
Fate friends.
timing and the way that we meet people is supposed to happen. Even if it is bad, it's for the good.
I
you know?
agree. I agree with that so much. Okay, like speaking of for the good, this podcast, we basically talk about 3 songs that really have made you like nostalgic, have made you as a person. It can be anywhere from something that reminds you of your family to a heartbreak to just like the moment you felt
Mhm.
the most like yourself ever.
Okay.
Yeah, so I know we're about to get real deep. So
Well, also, I do have chronic hiccups. You
I
might
know,
hear that.
I know that.
throughout.
I know you do.
Okay.
Literally, when Morgan told me that, our producer, like, I was like, "Oh, girl,
You will hear that throughout this.
we
I
got hiccups.
guarantee.
It's cool."
I do love that's the most amazing question, and I love feeling nostalgic too. So like when you actually told me this question before the podcast, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is perfect. I have the best answers for this, so I'm really excited.
I'm so excited. Do you want to start it off? Do you want to kick it off
Yeah.
with the first one that you think of?
Yeah, so I kind of want to do like a timeline of how I kind of fell in love with music, and I think the nostalgia for me is that feeling how I like really started to fall in love and kind of find my personal identity. And it was through country music. I like didn't know there was any other genre for the longest time.
That is the same for
Are
me.
you serious?
My parents, okay, so I knew doo-wop because that's what my grandpa did.
Yeah,
But
okay.
my parents like did not let me listen to anything that wasn't country
Are you joking?
for a long time. So
What?
I didn't realize like what everybody else was listening to.
Girl, I've never met anybody else who's ever said that.
Yeah.
That is so funny.
But I think it helps our storytelling.
I agree. I think that's why I fell in love with it, because like the lyrics and the writing and the beauty, and then adding like the kind of melodies and the music into it all, just like that's what makes country music.
Yes,
And
absolutely.
it's beautiful. So I fell in love with all of that, and that's how I became a songwriter because
Love
of it.
that.
So my very first concert, I was 7 years old. It was Alan Jackson.
Oh my God, what a person to have the first one be.
I absolutely adore him. He's my mom's favorite artist. So, I mean, she was kind of crazy with him. I'm not going to lie. Like, she would stalk him. She would run to airports on the runways as he was getting on the plane. Like, I'm not kidding. I love you,
Wait,
Mom.
he didn't have his like own. He was literally
He had his
he was
own,
flying
like,
coach, or
jets.
no? She was chasing his private
and
jet.
would follow him, yes, to his jet and be like, Alan, it's me.
Oh my
It's
God.
me, Beth. You know,
Did
sorry,
you ever
Mom.
go
Love
with
you.
her during like one
No,
of these?
I wasn't even alive then. She would do her thing, like be crazy about it. And I just love that about her, because that's what made me be like, man, she crazy enough to do that. Like, maybe I'll be crazy enough to be that person.
Yeah.
You know? So Alan Jackson, the very first, I don't even know. I listened to him so much growing up that I know like all of his songs. Like, if you play me one of his songs right now, I could sing it for you. All the lyrics.
Play
like,
it. Just kidding.
For real. But I would either have to say Drive by him, or there's this Penny song that he had. Oh. I don't
know why
remember it.
immediately that popped in my head was Pennies from Heaven, and I was like, that's not it.
No,
That's
it's definitely not that
older
song. But
But Drive, I
there was this
definitely
Penny
know.
song that he also had that my mom, I used to sing it all the time to my mom, and she just like loved listening to me sing that specific song. So I would just
Yeah.
sing that one all the time. But I personally, I really love Drive, because I didn't really understand it just then yet, because I was a kid, and I didn't, we all have to go through like the experience and learn through all of that.
Right.
But like the way that he sang those lyrics to everyone, and the video that he made with it about like teaching his daughters how to drive. And my dad he had 4 daughters.
Oh my goodness.
I was like, this is like so relatable to my family.
Yeah.
This is so cute. So definitely that song would be the one that I would say is so nostalgic to me. Anything about Alan Jackson is just nostalgic in general.
I love that. That's so cool. I think so many of us like go down this path where the first song we think about is something that relates to our family members. Like
Yeah.
it just immediately, and then like I feel like I always see people like they get like teary, and like I think about like there are songs for me where I think about that too, and it makes me immediately emotional. Or like I think of an exact moment where I remember like my family's faces and stuff when it happens.
Yes.
And I'm just like, oh my goodness.
like you take screenshots in your mind of this moment, and then you like remember it forever because
Yeah.
there's a song with it too. Like, how cool
Yeah.
is that?
It's crazy how like music literally can take a photo for you in your brain.
I just love that you said that, because it's so true. Like, if you're listening to a song, you can specifically remember that moment because of that, what you're listening to. It's kind
Yeah.
of like smelling something too. Like,
Right.
if you smell a certain candle that you got 10 years ago, you're going to remember that.
Totally. Side note, I need to talk about something that it was like a shower thought I had. And now that you just said smell, I need to
What?
talk about it. So like after COVID, so I had COVID twice. Even though I was like doing all the things, wearing the
Can you
masks,
tell-
everything.
Was it like right by each other or spread out?
It was spread out. And I was like, I can't believe I'm getting hit again. I love smelling things. I know this is so silly. I love smelling things so much. I
Oh
love
my
candles. I love
gosh.
fresh cut grass. I love those things. It makes me so happy. I can still smell a little bit, but like I miss how much I used to be able to smell.
Oh
And I
my
don't know if do
gosh.
I blame it on COVID or is it just because I'm getting older? I need to know. Like I want it like
Stop.
we need to like put it in the comments or something and open it up because like I'm so annoyed that I can't smell like I used
Wait,
to.
I need to know the exact moment where you're like, I can't smell anything.
So I was already really like panicked about it like the first time that I had it because people were like, I'm losing my taste and smell. And I was like, I swear if I can't taste things anymore, I'm just like gonna end it all. But literally I started thinking about it and I was just like, wow, I really love this candle. And then I started smelling it in Target one day and I was like, it doesn't smell like it used to.
Oh
and I
my
don't know what
gosh.
happened.
Oh my gosh.
But do
that's
you ever
so
notice
sad.
that? Like, no, it's just me. Okay.
No, I actually completely know what you're talking about. I had COVID too.
Yeah.
And I'm the same exact way. Like, I love fresh cut grass. Like, it smells like a nice warm summer day and
Yeah.
happiness
I
and the sun. Like, I
know.
get it. And like candles, everything, you need it. You need it.
I know. And I'm like, how do we fix this? And I know, like,
Girl.
for me, it's like that whole thing robbed so many people of so many things. And I'm over here, like, having a shower thought about my smells. But, like, seriously, it does bother me.
Oh my gosh. So like when you couldn't smell anything, how did you like get through? Like
I mean, I still can't smell it like I used to.
that is so
like,
crazy.
I
Did you get it the first time? Did you lose
the
your smell
first
the
time,
first time
it
or
was
the second
fine.
time?
The second time, it was, like,
Really?
so much worse. And both times were at Christmas. Like, on
You're
Christmas.
kidding me.
Like, a year apart on Christmas.
That's terrible.
I don't know. Like, COVID came for me at Christmas time twice.
No.
Yeah.
And I kind of want to piggyback off of that. So
Please.
I'm the same way. Like I also had COVID.
Yeah.
And I lost my smell. And that was my only symptom.
Yeah.
I didn't have
That was
anything
it?
else. I wasn't sick. Like I didn't feel bad.
Were you just like, something's wrong and I need to get tested?
Oh,
or
So let me tell you this. Me and my roommates were sitting. It wasn't even during COVID. It was like in 2021. It was during Thanksgiving. And I was going to like have this meal with all of my roommates and we got, I don't know what it was. It was like Jonathan's Grill or something. Not too fancy. But they were like, you have to get their french fries. Their french fries are so good. So I was like, okay, I'm going to get these. They're talking up these french fries. And I got them and I thought they were terrible. They tasted so bland. Like there's no flavor. I was like, you guys, these fries are the worst fries I've ever had in
What
my
are you
life.
talking about?
And so I went upstairs and like put on my candles. I was like, I don't know what these people, they're crazy. I'm just going to go to bed, smell my good smells and sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I woke up the next morning and I was like, wait, when I was falling asleep, I could not smell any of my candles that I put on. So I like freaked out and I went over and I grabbed all my candles.
You're like,
And I was like,
huffing them.
like,
What is wrong?
Did I lose my smell or like, do they not smell good anymore? And I ran to my roommates. I was like, can you guys smell these?
Oh
And they were
my
like,
God.
yeah. And I said, get away from me right now. I totally have COVID. I couldn't
You're
taste
like,
my
"Run,
fries last night.
run."
So I totally know. And I, to this day, is not the same. Like I can smell and taste things
Yeah.
still a little bit, but
But,
it's
like,
probably
but
the same
there's-
for you.
Yeah, it's just something is off. Something is off.
It's so
Uh,
bad.
I know. I wonder if Alan Jackson lost his smell.
He maybe could have. I know
Like,
he was
should
doing
we-
a tour for a
should
bit.
we be worried about Alan Jackson?
A little bit. There was
Just to segue it back.
there was a rumor that went around that he died, I think.
Oh my
too.
God.
And then he wasn't. He was okay.
Ugh.
It was
Oh,
scary.
oh no no. Oh no no.
But that's hilarious.
Oh God, yeah.
Anyway.
Sorry, I had to share my shower thought. As soon as you said smell, I was like, I missed that.
But it's so true.
But like then you think about it, you're like, what if that happened with like hearing? Like I think about when I'm older and like because I've been in front, I'm sure you know this, like because we've been in front of so many speakers
yeah.
because of what we do. I'm like, if I lose my hearing, I don't know what's like.
I'm
how-
already losing hearing. I
yeah,
can
like
hear
people are
it.
like, what? I'm like, they're like, stop talking so loud. I'm like, I'm just passionate. Like,
yeah, I didn't know you were talking softer. My bad.
yeah, I didn't know. I'm so sorry. My mom will go, shh. And I'm like,
That's
can
hilarious.
you not do that to me, please? I didn't know. I'm so
My bad.
sorry.
You know what I do for a living.
Yeah, exactly. My dad used to say that about like he would he's like a sheet metal worker, so he would be like around drills and things like that all day, and he would just be talking so loud. I'd
Oh
be
my
like,
gosh.
you're talking really loud. Now I know. Like now I know.
That makes so much sense.
So yeah,
mean,
I think
every
we need to
time-
give each other a little bit of grace for
Right.
friends who work with speakers and drills.
For real. Every time I'd leave a show, it'd be insane.
Like the ringing.
The ringing was so bad, and I'd have to be in my car just silence
Yep.
because the music was too much, and
Yeah.
because the ringing, I couldn't deal with all of it.
Right. Yeah. Especially on Broadway. Okay, let's talk a little bit about that. Like, so
Yes,
are you still down there performing, or I know you did that for a good long while.
I did. So I played. I got my start again, as you could say, after COVID on Broadway.
In
I
Nashville.
started singing
just for
in
the people who
Nashville, not the New York
are New York
one.
fans.
But that would be cool too. But no,
Definitely.
Broadway in Nashville. I got in a band and I started playing at Tootsie's. And it was so awesome. Like I loved it. I started doing that I did that for 2 years, and I played the late night shifts 4 nights a week.
That's a lot. That's a lot on your voice.
Every weekend. It is a lot.
A lot on your mind, like mentally, like health wise, obviously.
So much. Well, and my sets would start at 10 o'clock at night, which is okay, but normal people go to bed at 10 o'clock at night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like the crazy people are out partying
At
at 10 o'clock at night.
Their night is beginning at 10 o'clock. At
Right.
night.
And literally, and you probably get this too, because you
Yeah.
were down there, but like my whole lifestyle was a crazy party.
Yeah.
Like I lived
Absolutely.
in that. That was my job. And I'd get home at like 6 a.m. and still kind of be up because of the crazy partying and the drunk people, and like
yeah.
trying to calm down from that while everybody else, like normal people, are getting up
Yep.
and like going to
Just
work
said
and
normal
doing
people.
like normal people. But
Normal
like,
people
I'm
jobs.
serious that they're doing stuff in the daytime.
Yeah.
Like it's so much different.
Doesn't
than
it
that.
feel like, okay, because I know I felt like this, and I'm just curious because I know you're like so positive, and like, did it feel like something was almost like rubbing against your soul, if that makes sense?
100%.
Like there was something really off, like you weren't supposed to be in that atmosphere.
Yes, at the end, when I first
Yeah.
started, and I think this goes for a lot of people that start down there too on Broadway, like you just go in there with big bright eyes, like you're about to be a singer, you're going to be discovered, like you don't know who's going to be in these bars, but really like
Yeah.
you don't know who's going to be in those bars, but to come with it all, like it's the same people, they're tourists, like they're going to spread around to other people where they come from, like
Right.
it's from people from all over. They're going to tell you that they're going to say like, we need to get you to come to this place or this place,
Right.
but like that actually doesn't happen, and you're
Mm-mm.
just stuck down there a little bit.
Right. And then the money is good, so you're like, for the
The
most
money's
part.
good. That's why a lot of
um,
people stay down there.
Yeah, but a lot of it's like it's tip based, like just to tell the people who are visiting Nashville,
It's
Um,
tip based.
everything is tip based.
Remember
tip
that.
everybody, tip everybody down there, including the
Yeah.
artists, because I used to bartend down there, obviously. And I definitely stayed away from the I've sung down there like as a guest, but I've never
Mhm.
like done the whole thing.
Right. It's still the same.
Yeah, and it wears on you, it wears on your soul. At first it was awesome because I was like, look at this money.
Exactly.
But it traps a lot of people.
Well, that's where it gets, and I think that's where it gets to like people who can keep going, or the people who are just there to make a living and make money,
Right.
and they don't really know what else they want to do with their life, so they're just
Right.
going to stay down there because that's
Right.
ultimately what they want to do.
Yeah.
But for me, and even for you, like that's not what I want to do. I want to like change lives and
Yeah.
make an awesome show and create a performance that like will inspire people. And
Yeah.
it got to a point where I was just going down there because I had to be down there.
Yeah.
And that's not what you want to do in this industry if you want to be an artist.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah. And I think it's like there's something to be said about singing the same songs. Most of them aren't yours. Like occasionally you'll get to like throw one of yours out, and then
Yeah.
they're not really paying attention because
And
they're there to hear the
sometimes
songs they know.
Sometimes they are.
Yeah.
But most of the time, no. They want to
Yeah.
hear man, I feel like a woman.
Yeah,
Or
exactly.
like,
You hit that certain amount of drinks, you're like, all I want to hear is Shania. Like,
yeah, like, let's go,
yeah.
girls,
Yeah, exactly. And then
Which so much fun to do and
it
party with
is.
people, but
It is.
it's so draining doing it
Yeah.
every single night, and not even just one time during the night, it's multiple times.
Yeah. Also, there's something about living it every day in your everyday life versus going down and partying with your friends and going back to your everyday life.
Yeah, and you know that.
So I think a lot of people that do go down there don't realize like this is an everyday thing. It's exhausting. That I'm giving everything I have in this moment. You're constantly on stage, whether you're on the stage or you're bartending or you're serving or whatever. And so like
you're always on.
You're always on. It's hard to turn it off too. Like when you get back home at 6 a.m, you're like, I am having a hard time turning this off.
It is. It's actually so hard.
Yeah. So now that you're like moving forward into like a different chapter of your life and you're like waking up at normal hours and stuff like that, are you feeling like a really positive change, or are you kind of just like,
oh, I so am.
Yeah.
It's the best thing for me, and I keep saying this to people, which is kind of strange, but when I started at Tootsie's back in 2021, it was around this same time, exactly 2 years ago, and I feel like I've just like gotten offered all the life opportunities that I was handed back in 2021 back to me again.
Yeah.
Because I've been like changing everything in such a positive, good way. I've even had job opportunities that I applied for 2 years ago offer me the job this year. Like crazy things have been synchronizing back up, but now I'm like, that was me 2 years ago. Like I'm moving forward and I'm seeing all these things happen for me happen now.
Yeah.
So like, what can I do 2 years from now that I'm doing now?
Yes.
That's going to be like super crazy and awesome. So that's where I'm keeping my mind mentality at.
I will tell you, the more positive and the more like, and the reason I even started this podcast is because I wanted to create positive change in the world instead of like the negativity that I had been feeling in the past. And the doors that I see open in such a short amount of time from just putting out like my authentic positive self has been like overwhelming. And so I feel exactly what you're
you get it
saying, that
and
so
doing this
true.
is probably that thing that's helping, like you just said it, but that thing that's helping you like be that girl that's gonna be like, okay, from 2 years from now, like am I gonna look back at this and be like, that was a positive change in my life, let's keep doing something like that.
Right, exactly. And I think you have to do it to see it. Like,
oh yeah.
So like
experiencing it
so
is something
different.
Totally different than just like thinking about it or not even doing it, you know?
Yeah, because I can tell people all day like, oh yeah, go listen to like a healthy podcast, or like, you know, go read a book instead of sitting and watching TV and like things like that. Like, and they're gonna be like, yeah, I know that's better for me. But once you start like feeling it and actually experiencing it and seeing all the positive changes, it's like, wild.
It's so great. And it keeps your mind just going in a good way. I love that.
Totally.
And I did the same thing because I had a podcast that was around.
Tell me more about that, because you were telling me a little bit about it, and I want to hear so much more.
Oh my God. So that was around the same time I was doing all that in 2021, maybe 2020. That was like, okay, what am I going to do to like keep my life going? You know, it was COVID and everything was closed. I think it was before I even did the Tootsie circuit. But those were one of those things where I was like, let's do it. I want to create a positive thing. It's just like this. But it was called Girl Most Likely.
I love that title.
And it's on all streaming platforms too.
Okay,
it's
perfect.
on like Spotify.
So we can still find
Music.
it.
Yeah, you can still find it.
Okay.
But we would, and it was with one of my friends, Trevor Perkins.
Okay.
We just really love to feature like women in any business, like empowering women in like country music, as an artist, if you're a businesswoman, you're starting a boutique, like all of that. And we had people on there we had one of my friends who was a country singer, to one of my friends who moved to Nashville from California, who is like not exactly a boutique owner, but she just like has all these clothes like in her house.
Oh my gosh.
But uses her Facebook profile to be able to have a platform to just like try on these clothes and sell them to people. And she's like making a whole business out of that and has like this page of thousands of people who buy clothes from her. And it's just like, she's also wanting to be a singer. So like anybody who is having that mentality of trying to fix and help themselves for the better and helping people with like little things is the best. And so that's why we really had all of those wonderful women on our podcast to just talk about and empower other women. And just like, the girl most likely, that's the girl who you want to be. And doesn't have to be girls specifically, but that's who we wanted to empower. But
I feel
so much
like
fun.
we are in like this space right now in this like time where so many people are doing so many things. And I think it's so exciting because for the longest time, people would be like, well, what do you do? What's that one thing that you do that defines you? And like, there are women like your friend who are like business owners and musicians.
Yes.
And like showing that they can do so many things. Whoop.
Yeah.
Showing that they can do so many things. And truly be successful at it and not have to like hide behind just this one thing.
Yes.
And the world is really open for whatever you want to do.
And it's crazy too, because you can hear them talk about their struggles as well, but they're still putting all of their struggles into those things that make them better, which is so powerful. And there's a lot of women who don't know how to deal with those struggles.
Yeah.
And empowering them is the way to do it. Like, that's why we wanted to show off like girls like that so they can talk about those things to help other women take those struggles and make them into something greater.
Absolutely. That
So
my whole
awesome.
heart like is so for that. Like, do you think you're gonna ever create that again, like, or continue to do those at all?
I don't know about a podcast, but like doing stuff like this, I'll probably come on and do. I have
Yeah.
like way bigger things planned for my future. I don't really love to talk about my goals because I feel like if I like put it out into the universe, then for me personally, I'm not going to want to do them because I talked about it out loud and other people are going to like steal it from me. So
Well, do you at least talk about it out loud to yourself?
to myself,
like
I'll write
vision
it down.
boards, writing
I have
it down.
like plans. Like I've said this to people, but everything I write about and like not just songs, but like put in my journal or like have it in my phone. I've been like putting all together, and maybe one day I'll create a book out of it. Like,
I love that.
I say that I'm creating a whole book about my whole life, like creating a biography. And something cool that I also always say is like, it's really cool to think about your life being a movie. So like, I'm the director of my own movie, but I'm not in charge of everybody else. I'm just in charge of like what I'm supposed to do for my character.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, how cool is that?
I love that. And it actually relieves a lot of the pressure, I think. And I think probably a lot of people should be living more on that track because and even like I catch myself a lot of the time being like upset like that somebody didn't react the way that I thought that they would or something like that. But like I used to get so much more upset. Now I'm just kind of like, okay, that's their path and like that's what they're gonna do and I'm gonna do this. And it's really okay like to just focus on me and obviously still care about the people around you and how they're doing and help them wherever you can. But like it very much is important to like do what you said and be the lead character of your own story. Have you seen the movie The Holiday?
No.
With like Cameron Diaz and Jude Law and Jack Black and Kate Winslet.
I love all those people. I don't think I've seen it though.
My favorite movie of all time. It is just like so heartwarming. The soundtrack is like Hans Zimmer. It's like stunning movie.
Gosh,
I think they're actually coming out with like a second one, but there's a line in that movie that like brings me to my knees every time. And it basically is this like older man in the movie and he's telling Kate Winslet like, why are you not being the lead character in your own life? Like you are acting more like the best friend instead of being the lead character.
My gosh.
And he's showing her all of these movies where like the lead character female, it has like all of this gumption and she's like, I'm seeing a pattern. And he's like, that's because like, that's how I see you. That's how everyone sees you, but that's not how you're seeing yourself.
That's incredible.
And I truly like, please watch it. Like it's truly the best. And I feel like every time it's like a reminder constantly to me that like that you have to go about your life being the lead character of your own
Yeah.
life. That's why you're here.
Not the best friend.
Not the best friend.
You can be the best
Not
friend
the
for somebody
sidekick.
else for
Yeah.
their life,
For
like,
their
for
life.
their own movie.
Yes.
That's what you're there for the best friend, but that's not your
in
role
their
for
movie.
your movie.
Yeah, you still have to, you can be the best friend of somebody else's movie, but you have to still live your movie as the main character.
Yes. That's so good.
Yeah.
I'm totally watching
Yeah,
that
it's
after
the
this.
best. It's like, it just chills.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
like, that's accurate. It's so accurate.
And what you said earlier, like, synchronism is such a big thing. Like, if that person and somebody else in your life doesn't, like, you don't need them unless they come back. Like,
Yeah.
it will come back for you
right.
if it does.
Exactly. And I very much believe that like in your life you come across people to learn, like we were talking about, and to learn from them and
Mhm.
with them. And I truly believe that there are phases, and you know, you just go through those phases with that person, and
Oh,
then
yeah.
you change and you both upgrade to where you need to upgrade to.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah, and it might not be together,
Exactly.
and
And-
it might
oh my
be, but it might
gosh.
not be. And I think a lot of the things that I'm learning to do is leave those situations with grace instead of sadness.
Girl, I'm learning that too.
That's so hard.
It's funny because my name. Like,
Yes.
take my own advice.
Exactly.
I totally know. Because, like, there's, like, people in my life where they don't do anything for me anymore. Like, I don't
Yeah.
need them, but still, I'll pick up that phone call. I'll make sure you're okay. Like, I still love you.
Yeah.
Because, like, I loved you at one point and you hold a dear thing, precious spot in my heart. So
Yep.
I will check up on you.
Yeah.
But, like, do I need you in my life right now? Am I going to put you back in here? Are you
Yeah.
are you another character in my story right now? No.
yeah.
Like, you need to understand your boundaries too.
Yeah. Huge thing
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But yeah, that's beautiful. And okay, so I'm going to circle back
I
around.
love it. Let's do another cheers.
Cheers to circle back around.
To our
I'm loving
circling
this
back.
so
Me
much.
too.
Dude, do you know? Okay, so this is a little bit weird, but so Gracie and I wrote a song that I had sung on originally just to like throw a scratch demo down, and you came back in and you sang it, but like so much better than the country pop version
You
of
like
it. It's stunning.
Oh my
I love it.
gosh.
But Morgan, our producer, called me the other day and was
Mhm.
like, I went through the track so many times, and Morgan's known my voice for like 10 years. And so he said he went through the track so many times trying to figure out if my voice was layering yours at all, because we had like the same tone, like not the same voice, but the same tone.
Really?
And he thought my voice was layering on top of your voice, but it was just your voice. And he was
I
like,
love
you guys,
that.
and I died because
We're
I
like meant to be friends.
he
I
was, yeah,
think.
he was like, you guys could like literally copy each other just with like a different, like, just like having a country accent, not having a country accent.
No, for real. Actually, if I really wanted to go hardcore like pop, I
Yeah.
could totally match you. I think.
Totally. I think you could too. And it's so funny because I laughed because when I heard the song without him even saying that, I was like, this is so familiar. This just sounds
That's so
so
amazing.
familiar. So I'm so happy that I had like got to meet you like just on
Also,
a segue. 'Cause
I just love that song too.
it's such a good one. I'm so excited for like people to hear it.
Me
I'm, like,
too.
Just
It's
wait.
so awesome. Yeah, seriously.
Just wait. So when it comes to songs, Alan Jackson, obviously.
Mhm.
And then where are we going next? Where are you taking us?
So next we're gonna head into. So that was when I was like 7. I
Yeah.
was a little girl. Now I'm gonna go into like me self-discovering why I love this music, like why I am this person from this music, like who is helping me evolve into the person that I want to do, like why do I want to make music?
Yeah.
So actually Taylor Swift.
Okay. Let's go.
Was-
Bring it.
I know. So
Let's do
people
it.
have mixed feelings about her, but I am a Swiftie.
I feel like
love
so
her.
many people are. Like
I
there's
just love
something
her.
there for sure because of the amount of people.
Well, and I think for me, because I was always that kid. So backstory a little bit. I'm a triplet,
Okay.
and for me as a kid, it was definitely super hard to. I was gonna say make friends, but it was actually very easy to make friends because there was 3 of us. So like people would already be like, oh, there's a group of people. Like let's go talk to them. And it was definitely hard to learn. Like I need to like go like up to people by myself and find the people that I actually like for myself. Like that was
Yeah.
definitely so hard. So I took songs and lyrics and like Taylor Swift writing songs about like literally life and me like growing and trying to figure out all of that as a way for me to like help get out of that, which is kind of strange, but it totally helped me so much.
Yeah.
And I'm a debut girl. Like I love Taylor Swift's debut album, like all of her songs. Tim McGraw,
I would agree
Our
with that. Like,
Song,
yeah,
Should've Said No.
very. I think those are like the ones where like we all were like, okay, yeah, that feels very like accurate to
Like, how did
where
she do
was
that?
at and like where we were all at that age.
Right. It's just easy to relate to her. And it's even girls now. Like, what? How
Totally.
does she do it? But the song that I'm going to say is from her Fearless album. It's literally Fearless.
I love that. That album was really good. I liked what was the one that she had that was like the man album? Like if like a man, or what was it? The
The
song
Man?
where she's talking about
I'd
how
be
like
the
if
man.
she was like a man, like it wouldn't be
Man. That's from Lover.
okay. That one I
Mhm.
loved.
D-
What
me
is the
too.
actual like
I'd be the
title of
man.
that?
It's The Man.
It's literally The Man. I loved that song.
Is that the one you're talking
Yeah.
about? Where they even then like, did you see the music video? She like
yes,
dresses up
and
as
it's
a
just
man.
I felt like it was such a power move, and I was
Oh
just
my
like,
god, genius!
I was like really there
It's
for that.
True though.
Yeah,
Like if a man was doing all the things that she's doing right now, nobody would question it.
exactly.
Everybody
I
would be
to-
like, that guy is amazing. Like,
Yeah.
he's doing so many awesome things. I mean, they're still saying that about her, but they
Yeah.
judge the heck out of
right, and
her
I think that
experiences.
happens with all women, honestly. But I think that like after I heard that song, like and there like she put the words to like what we were all thinking. I think for me, that's when I really like stepped into it. I
Yeah.
was like, yeah, this is great. This is how I feel. And then it also was
Uh-huh.
like the moment where I was like, I'm not gonna like filter myself like then
Yeah.
like like I've been told to my whole
Right.
life, you know, and
I-
it does make changes.
I know. I think one of her lyrics in that song was like, they say they praise me for my good ideas and power moves, but like, and then it turns out all wrong. But like,
Mm-hmm.
the reason is like she wants to be praised for those things, but like they're not. They're like judging her for it.
Right,
And
exactly.
if she was a man for it, then they'd praise her.
Totally.
Like how crazy. Like
yeah. I've seen her do a lot of interviews on it too, and it's very accurate and
man.
yeah.
I mean, all of her songs are just like if you really dive deep into each of them, she has a true story for each of them.
totally.
Which is so cool.
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so Fearless.
Fearless, literally, okay. I think that song came out when I was going into middle school.
Okay.
And that was like a transition, you know, as a kid. Like
Totally.
I knew I loved music. I started doing like shows and plays and stuff when I turned like 8 or something. I don't even remember. But I took all of that as like, okay, people think I'm weird because I like music and I like to sing and I just want to like perform. I don't even care if people like judge me for it. I'm just going to do it and see what people say. And as I was transitioning into middle school, it got even harder because there were so many different schools like coming in and there were some people who really like understood who I was, but there's some people who were like, who the heck is this chick? Like it was so weird because I didn't get along with anybody. And I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio. There's really nobody there who loves country music.
I think that's
I have to
changing
say,
though.
It's changing.
I think that's changing for sure. I'm like, because I'm from Pittsburgh and I was
That's
singing
right.
country my whole life too until, you know, I was
That's
18
right.
and people were like, oh, she's that singer girl that does country.
That's
like,
true. And I think maybe it was because I was the one that really just let out that I loved country music. And there were definitely people who loved it. And there were people who would come to me and be like, I love this song. But like, I didn't know that they did because they didn't show it that they liked it.
They were afraid.
And there would be people
Yeah.
that would like go to country concerts and I'd see them there.
And then they
like
would
all
talk
dressed
about
up
it.
in cowgirl boots and like cowboy hats. I've never seen you act like that before, you know? But it's really cool because that's what music does. It just brings people together in the first place, but it made me angry because I was like, just let it out. Like, if you love the music, why are you making fun of me for it?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So transitioning back into like school, that album came out and I listened to it nonstop. Like, I know every single word to probably any Taylor Swift song, not gonna lie, like Alan Jackson. But that song was when there was this kid who praised my singing. Not praise, but like any class I was in with him, he would be like, "This girl sings." Like, I
Also, God bless
enjoyed
those
him.
people who do that. Like,
Right. And I think it was because there was so many classes that I was in with him. So he just knew that he knew the person that I was. And every class he would be like, "You got to listen to her sing." And I would be like, okay, so people like do like it, but some people don't show it. And it was just like a learning experience for me.
totally.
That's why I kept going with it. And so he'd be like, "Sing a song." And I kid you not, almost in every single class, like I would sing to people because this kid would be like, "You have to hear her sing." And the song that I'd pick would be Fearless
Yeah.
by Taylor Swift. So I literally just stand up. I'd be like, "Guys, listen to this."
You have to be fearless
and
to
I
do
would
that,
do
though.
it.
Like,
I would do it. And I think that scared people a lot about like wanting to be friends with me or like wanting to, I don't know
yeah.
what it was, but I just wanted to let people know that like, this is what I like to do. So like, you guys find your thing to do
Yeah.
it. Be fearless about it.
I
And I
love
literally would sing to
that.
people. They didn't ask for it, but like I would sing to people.
But you gave it to them. No,
No, for real.
I love that though, because like that's a perfect song to do that. It's very literal for people.
I know.
And also like you said, like I think there are a lot of people who get in this like weird space with artists because they're on a stage. I think that's what it is. So they're like, "Oh, she likes to be on a stage," or "He likes to be on a stage. They must like really love attention," or something like that. No, that's just like where we're able to like
Feel like
express
ourselves.
it. And it's funny because in the moment where they like you said, "This is just my thing." Like, I'm not good at math. I'm not good at like, these are not the things that I'm good at. And honestly, it would probably be easier if I were. Like, that's kind of where,
real.
because like,
know what
I
you
get
mean.
jealous of the people sometimes that are really good at doing jobs that are really like way like more open and out there for people to just be successful regularly, and instead of just like chasing after things and hoping they're gonna fall into the right place for you. And so yeah, I always like when people are like, "Oh, I totally wish I had a voice," or whatever, I'm like, don't. Like, because then you do have to, you feel like you have something to say. You have to say it. You have to put it out there. Like, you are obligated because it's your journey and it's what you're meant to do. So yeah, I think that's really awesome that you used Fearless for that. And I think probably you gave a lot of people a lot of inspiration to be fearless themselves.
Well, and that's also the thing. Like, I actually met my best friend ever in that class after I did that. Like, ever. Like, she passed away a couple years ago, so I love talking about her. But like, she and Taylor Swift was like our girl. So I just like love living out that lifestyle with her, and I just keep her with me at all times. Like, even talking about this, like I know she's here right now, like listening. So like, I just keep that mentality of like, that's how I want to keep going. And even when I go on stage, like I know that that's where I'm supposed to be because of like moments like that, and like making awesome memories and letting people have a good time. Even if they don't know me, I'm just glad to be a part of it. That's why I like doing it. And some people aren't meant for that, and that's okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I'm really, really sorry that your friend couldn't be here with us,
Oh,
because
that's
like,
okay.
I mean, I know she is.
She
though.
totally is.
Yeah, that's awesome though. And I love that you like to talk about her and that like to keep her like around and alive. I think that's really special.
Thank you.
Yeah, I think
know,
more
we all
people
need to
should
do
do
that.
like celebrate.
Oh my
people
gosh,
that
you
they've
have to
lost.
celebrate.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, don't be sad about it.
No, and they would want that. They would want to be celebrated. Absolutely. Do you have you written songs about her?
Oh yeah, I actually wrote a song and sang it at her funeral. Like,
Honestly,
I
I'm
laugh
sure
about
that
it now because
I've,
it's so funny to me.
yeah,
She was like, cause like we would talk about like anything that we would say. Well, I mean, she was here. We would be like, we would joke, like literally, we would joke, like, "Are you gonna like sing a song at my funeral?" And like, and it actually happened. I was like,
yeah.
"Yeah, but I
You're
wrote
like,
one
but I
for you."
actually have to now.
Right, is right, and it's just awesome because like it was sad at the time, like she couldn't be personally here with us anymore, but like she's here.
Yeah,
It's fun, like
you
still
can
doing
tell, you
it.
can feel that for
Hmm.
sure. That's awesome, and I'm sure that you could just carry her with you in what you do, and I think that's really special.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah,
And I think that everybody does that too whenever they lose somebody, but sometimes it's
absolutely.
hard to talk about. So,
Yeah. I think when you lose somebody, they're always with you. They're always a part of you
hmm,
because of like the gift of them being here and being walking with you through this life.
yeah.
I always tell people like there's a phrase that I'm just like obsessed with. It says we're all just walking each other home. And I think that that phrase is like when I am like feeling panicked or sad or anything among like those kind of emotions, I think about that
Yeah.
because
That's what making me tear up. That's so cute.
it's just it's just because like we said before, like even if somebody's in your life for a short amount of time, even if it ended badly or if it ended well or if it just like ended, they were still a part of your life. They're still on your journey walking you to
Hmm.
wherever it is that we're going,
Hmm.
whatever it is that you believe
Right.
and they're just a part of it.
It's
And
so true. And I see so many signs from her. Like that's why I know she's here. Like for example, I was driving home one night after a Broadway gig. And her thing and we used to love watching Harry Potter and like we loved the owl. And as I was driving home, this owl flew right in front of my car, and I stopped.
that's
It was the
not
most. It was a white,
normal.
beautiful owl, and it like flew up into a tree. And I stopped and I looked at it and I paused. I had to take a picture because I was like, "She's right." Like, who sees a white
I have
owl?
I'm like I have chills. Like
In the middle of the night. Like it flew in front. Are you kidding me? I almost hit it. Like how incredible. It's the
I
little things.
it is the little things and I think like if you're really available and open to see them, they are there.
Oh, 100%.
For sure. The signs
I think
from
yeah.
like everything. It like truly you just if you ask and you're available to receive it,
Mhm.
always there.
It's like she's like helping me walk to getting to home too now. Like I
Yeah.
kind of helped her get there and now like she's
Yeah.
helping me even though she's not here. Like it's awesome.
I think that's great. That's so cool. I
Yeah.
love that. Oh my god, it's like I want to give you a
That's
like
so great. I love you. Oh my gosh.
honestly, that's amazing.
Thank
You're just like
you.
you're such a kind, sweet person and like I just
So are you.
like thank you. It's just to see and like we all go through like really deep struggles, but I love to see the people who are strong but like really like still championing for themselves. Like
Mhm.
who are still like not letting like life beat them down, who are still standing up with their head held high after going through lots of really traumatic experiences and just like walking through life still saying I'm going to like make the best for myself
Mhm.
and for others around me.
Yeah.
And I just think that that's really special.
It's hard to find those people.
It is. It really, really is. But they are so out there for sure. And you are proof of
Thank
for
you
sure.
thank you for saying
yeah,
that.
of course. And I think I'm sure that the people around you feel that very deeply.
I hope so.
Yeah.
That's the message I want to put off.
Yeah.
So.
A very fearless message.
I love it.
Okay, let's do your third song.
Okay. This one I've been thinking like really long and just hard about. And I still really don't know. Like I'm honestly still deciding because there's so many things and
It's hard to get people to like, especially artists. It's hard to get us to choose like a like a top 3 situation.
it's so hard. Yeah, like you said, especially as artists and like music makers, we listen to so many things. So
Yeah.
it's like, okay, so what's like helping me get through life right now is like what I'm kind of thinking about.
Yeah.
But I want to circle it back around to back in college.
Okay.
I went to college here in Nashville, and that was the first time that I left Ohio. I lived in one house growing up my whole life, like with all my siblings. We shared one bathroom, like my whole house.
Oh my goodness.
And it was incredible because I think that made me the family person that I am today, but also a little bit difficult trying to like get out and like figure out who I am by myself and like
Right.
live alone and like how do I do that? So
Yeah.
when I left and moved to college here, that was the first time I was ever alone. And I wasn't alone really. One of my sisters moved here with me for a little bit before she moved to Florida. She's in Florida now.
Okay.
And I had some friends from home even like move here with me, but still it was just so different. And I knew that Nashville was always the place that I wanted to live just because, you know, country music, that's what
Yeah,
I grew up on.
absolutely.
Like this is the place where I used to vacation to when I was a kid. Like
Yeah.
it just felt like home to me in my heart. Like Cincinnati is my hometown and it is
Yeah.
my home, but like I always felt so like myself every time I came here. So that's why like I'm leaving, guys. After I graduated high
Yeah,
school, I was like, see you
absolutely.
later. I'm going to
Yeah.
Nashville. And everybody from my hometown knew that. They knew I was moving here.
Yeah.
So the song that I'm going to pick is a song that when I was in college, I picked the song to sing as one of my very last songs. I was a music major, voice major.
Was it Belmont?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was in a group called Southbound.
Very cool.
And we had our last show before I started to graduate. It was like the seniors got to pick their songs that they wanted to sing for their, you know, for our whole class. And I picked Slow Burn by Kacey Musgraves.
I love that song.
And that song is just so good. Like it's so good, but it has
You can
the
feel
best.
it.
Yes, you can feel it. It has the best message because no matter what, like I think like no matter what you're doing in life, there are things that are going to put you down and like take you and create the burn that you're going to feel throughout life. And it's going to be slow and hard, but it's going to be all right. Like you should be all right with the slow burn because there's people around you and like you're going to get there. Like the sun's going down in Tennessee, but like don't worry, Beijing's going out and then they're doing work. Like life's going to continue. Like keep going. And I just thought that was a beautiful message, like going into a new life after graduating college.
Absolutely.
And like for me, I graduated in 2019, so that was like COVID was next.
Totally.
And like that was the challenge that we all had to face.
Absolutely.
And going through that slow burn, trying to
Right.
get through that. Like I think that song just showed off what we all needed to learn for the next couple of years. Patience, you know, I love patience.
Yeah. Speaking of, that song gets me a lot, and I think she's such an incredible writer.
Oh my gosh, the best.
Like
really
stunning, but like she put out a candle called Slow Burn.
I know.
And I want to smell it, but I can't.
That is so sad. Do you think one day it'll come
I'm just
back?
taking it full circle. I'm sorry.
It's gonna come back one day.
Okay, we can only hope. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna buy you that candle as a joke and just gift it to you to make you feel.
And you're gonna be like, you know what? You need to smell
like,
this. A
Can
slow
you smell
burn.
this yet? Don't worry. It's gonna take a little bit. There's gonna be patience. You're gonna smell it later.
Yeah, you'll smell it one day when
It's
you're just
just
walking through the house.
Burn it when you want. Like maybe you'll be able to smell it.
Maybe I'll catch a whiff here and there.
Yeah, who knows? It's gonna be slow, but you'll get
That's
there.
so bad. It's so funny.
No, I love that.
Oh my god, I love that, and I actually would love to hear you sing that song because, like, you have like a very crisp, clear voice.
Oh, thank you.
And it like really shines through no matter what. So I feel like that would be stunning on that song.
I'm alright with a slow burn, taking my time, let the world turn.
Ugh,
I don't know. Like
girl,
it's the best.
girl. Those runs though. Yeah, no, chills.
Aw,
That's amazing. Thank you for singing a little bit for us.
Oh yeah.
That made
I
me
have
so
to.
happy.
Singing is my thing. If I'm not singing randomly though, like ask me if something's wrong.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm not kidding.
Do you do like, I have this habit since I was young of like singing responses to people.
Yes. Are
And,
you
like-
kidding me? It's the best.
Yeah. And people were like, what? And I'm like, yes. And they're like,
yes,
okay.
girl, you do your thing, you know? And they'll be like,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Even when I was like bartending and stuff, I'd just be like, like, and people would be like, what are you doing?
I love it.
They get used to it after they know you for a while, for
They'll
sure.
do it like once they get comfortable with it, they'll do it back too, and that's the best.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, this is fun.
yeah,
we
yeah.
love this.
Like this girl's singing. She's
Yeah,
nice and happy. Like
exactly.
who sings if they're sad?
Exactly. I mean, we do, but
Easy for us, but
sad, happy, everything. Well, those three are amazing. All three of those songs and those artists, like, obviously cannot be competed with in any way.
Truly though, like
Yeah.
the king, in my opinion, the
Mhm.
king of country, the
Mhm.
queen of pop now. Like
yeah, truly.
nobody can do that. And Kacey Musgraves, just an amazing songwriter,
Honestly,
singer.
So when I was bartending, at this place called Flamingo, and it's super cool. If you're ever like, have you been there?
Yeah. I've never been. I've tried to go in.
Oh, it's yeah, that's a thing, huh?
I want to go. So
it's
bad.
like very like bougie, like Miami vibes kind of bar, and I used to like bartend there just for a little while and like pick up
Cool.
shifts and stuff, and it's super fun to dance to and like have a really fun time. Everybody's dressed up. It's like really
Mhm.
like super fun, super bougie. So one day I was asked to go pick up a shift and like be bartending
Mhm.
upstairs for this like private event for this artist that was coming through for like a showcase. And I was like, oh yeah, for
Oh.
sure. And I was bartending and I literally am in the middle of just like, there are like so many people around. I'm like the only one up there. I'm like just slinging drinks. And I turn around and like closer than you are to me right now is Kacey Musgraves.
Shut up.
And I was like, oh, Allison, please be cool. But I
What?
was so caught
you
off
like,
guard. And
did
she
you
was
say
asking me
anything?
questions. And I was just like, it's you.
Like, yes.
Yeah. But
Like-
she's like honestly stunning in person. Like porcelain
believe
skin. Like
that.
I just like,
How does she look like that?
I don't know. But like honestly, like if anybody ever is wondering, like if she looks like that in person, she does. Super sweet,
I
super
don't
kind.
even have to ask you that question though. 'Cause
Yeah.
I just feel
Well, like sometimes I'm
feel
like
her
that's I'm
beauty
like that is
sometimes.
unattainable beauty, and then I'm like,
Yeah.
never mind. She's literally like that in person.
when I say yee, you
Yeah.
say ha, yee,
Ah,
yee.
just I
And-
can't.
So
Yeah.
love her.
Oh my God, same. Okay, so I'm gonna wrap this around.
With
to
our elaborate answers.
yes, we could be here all day.
We could. We really could.
I love it. I love it so much. It's literally like we're just in the studio chilling.
we
talking.
are. I could be here
Oh my
forever,
God.
I think.
Okay, so final 3 questions.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ready?
You
My
gotta
neck
do it.
crack.
Yeah, gotta do it. So final 3 questions. Let's start with this. What song do you feel like, or like, let's go here. What artist or song do you feel like is not heard enough and needs to be just like put on blast?
Gracie Carol. No.
That isn't you.
Gosh, that is also a hard question
I
for
know.
artists because like as a songwriter, I love listening to new music all the time, so I'm constantly listening to new artists. I really love, I think they call Alana Springsteen, Elena or
Oh,
Alana.
Yeah, you showed me some of her stuff the other day.
I just love her music.
it was really good. I really liked it.
I think it's kind of, I feel like kind of like mine in a sense, which is probably why I really love it. But her voice, I think, is a little more poppy than mine. Mine's more country, but like, I think that's why I love her so much because I relate to her music so much, and I want to like create stuff like that. So like, definitely go listen to her if you don't know her songs and you kind of like pop country stuff.
yeah,
She's the best.
totally. Yeah, she sounded great.
Love
I
her.
need to listen to her more actually because I remember liking the first like 3 songs that I heard, but like I'd like to go a
They're
little
so
bit more
good.
on a deep dive.
Listen to Shoulder to Cry On.
Okay. That's
Oh
on my list.
gosh.
Every time I leave here with like new songs to listen to, and I just like to like plug away because
Yes.
like I said, like I want to bring people on the forefront like you who maybe people don't know about. Like, honestly, so many people do know about you and like follow you.
I have a interesting fan base.
Like,
Not interesting. There's like they're more of kids. Like they're 13-year-olds and they're like
yeah,
trying to figure out life, like the
that's
way that we're all
great
trying to do.
though. I think a
But
lot of people think you're younger than you are too, which
they
is
totally
wild.
do,
Yeah, I think it's because
which
you
I
have like a
love.
very like young energy, but an old soul.
100%.
Yeah,
I, I think that's why honestly, it was really difficult to find out like who I was and like who I wanted to be as an artist and compared to who I actually am as a person and how to like put those together. It was so difficult
yeah.
trying to find that out for a couple years, but I think
You got
we're
here.
like totally getting there now.
Totally.
Yeah.
And we're always learning, and it's totally fine to change. Like, there are
Hmm.
so many people, like, who says that you have to just, like,
Right.
stay that person forever, be that person forever? Like, you don't. Like, you get to change like a human being changes. And
Yeah.
hopefully your fan base, as they change, will change with you. Like, that's just
Yeah.
what we all hope for. And I think that's cool,
Me
though.
too.
I think you're really solid in who you are, though, right now,
Right.
which I think is such a hard thing to do.
Thank you. I don't
Yeah.
It's good to be young, but like also trying to experience life stuff that happens. I wanted to do in the first part of my life to be like, okay, I went through that. Let's keep going. I want to teach people that like those things are okay.
Yeah.
Because I know the kind of person that I am and I know that I can get through it. And a lot of people struggle with it. So,
Yeah.
like, there's a lot of things I went through that I did not need to go through when I was younger. And maybe that's why I feel like I have a younger
Yeah.
part of me and an old soul because I'm like literally in the middle of it right now.
Right. Absolutely. No, that's the thing though. Like, truly, I feel like I used to tell my mom all of the time that I didn't want to write music because I felt like I hadn't lived enough to write.
I totally get that.
And so the universe did a very interesting thing and they said, okay. And
Oh my
they threw me
gosh.
into a lot of stuff
I
to
love that.
experience. I say they, like it's like actually
Yeah.
they. The universe is what I believe in, but threw me into like living.
Mm-hmm.
And so I experienced through me and through my friends and the people around me, like life being hard and life being crazy and life being beautiful and like all of these amazing experiences that I've had. And now I look back and I go, wow, I really asked for that though. Like
Right.
and now I feel really confident in my ability to write a song that other people will feel and understand because
yes.
I've lived it now.
Did you ever feel like what was it? Like before when you knew you wanted to be a songwriter, but did you like just feel the music and try to like get that out, but for some reason like your lyrics were like not the best.
Yes.
Like you didn't really know what to write about. You didn't really know how to say it because like you didn't go through it,
Right.
But
Yeah.
you felt
You
the
went off of
music.
the experiences of the people around you or the feel of just knowing that that's how you're supposed to feel when you hear this song.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then when you went through it, it was like, okay, I know exactly like what to say now. And you
Yeah.
put that with the music that like you hear and you create and like
Yeah, exactly.
that's what the good songs
It's so
come
bizarre
from.
because I don't think a lot of artists talk about that transition,
You're
but I
right.
know that it happens. Like some people are just born into like rough times or they just somehow know what to say and how to say it. And a lot of artists do need to find themselves, figure out who that is because like you do get a lot of people like as an artist telling you who they think you should be or you think you should be a certain way.
Always.
But I think once you start going through those moments where you're feeling like, okay, I have experienced this. I do know what that feels like.
mm-hmm.
Have you ever written a song? This happens to me all the time. I wrote a song when I was younger and I didn't know I wrote it for my future self.
I said this the other day. I'm
Yeah.
not even kidding. Like most of the songs that I've written like years ago, I literally even I tweeted this too. I was like, not me. Literally writing songs about my futures, like
Yeah.
the future me.
Like I had no business writing like, okay, so I have this song called White Flag. It's going to be coming out on my EP that's coming out.
You talked about this.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I wrote that years ago. I was living in LA. It came out of me like it came out of me like I was just gifted it. Like I don't even think I can even take credit for it. Like
Mhm.
it just
I
feels
know
like
what
it
you're
fell out
talking
of the
about.
sky and words were coming out of my mouth and like I was just like, yeah, this is it. And I sat there and it was like one of the quickest songs I've ever written.
Those are always the best.
And I was in like the studio literally holding a microphone and just like word vomit. And it's like so many people's favorite that I have.
That's amazing.
And I had no business writing that song. I had not been through that at all. And then I, like 5 years later, was in a relationship and fully lived it. And now I sing that song with more passion than I ever have because that song is what I went through recently, but not then. And it was like a younger version of me wrote me something that could get me through.
Girl.
It's so bizarre how that happens.
Girl, yes. I love that you do. I literally do the same thing.
I think
but you don't even know it.
You don't know.
Until once you experience it or like went through it, you're like, oh, that song. That's why I wrote it.
Exactly.
Like that helped me get through that whole thing and I didn't even know.
Yeah.
Like how cool is that? That's kind of like what my new song that I just released was about too. I wrote that 2 years ago. And I was like, this song is amazing, but I don't know. Like I don't want to put it out yet. Like I don't really feel like it needs to be out in the world yet. Like something's missing from it. And once I left Broadway and went through another breakup and like was trying to really feel the emotions that were going on, along with like trying to figure out what everybody else was doing in their life and like where I was at, that's when I was like, everybody's got something that's the same.
Yep.
And I related back to that song. I started to listen to my like past songs and I found that one and everybody's got one. And I was like, oh, I have to put this out right now. This is the moment. This is how I can like help people shine. And it helped me like in that moment, but now it's helping me even more. And it's just
that song
so
is
crazy.
So infectious too.
Thank you.
It's Everybody's Got One, right? That's the full title. Okay.
Everybody's
and then
Got
that is
One.
literally on all of the platforms. And we will link that for sure.
Please.
That like literally perfectly relates into my next question. What are you up to right now? What are your like near future plans? Because I know you don't like to talk about long term. And where can we find everything?
So wait, what was the first part of the question?
So what are you up to in the near future?
Okay.
And then where can we find everything that you're doing?
That's an amazing question that I should even figure out too. Near future, I'm definitely writing a lot more. I want to get out and I want to tour. Everybody that I met downtown is just like that. I truly tried to keep like close to me and in my heart. Like I loved following them back. I loved connecting with them. Like it was just another fan base that I was creating.
Yeah.
Along with the people from my social media who have never seen me, but like watched me from afar on social media, which is also the cool thing about it, even though sometimes it's not. But I love doing that. And like, I really want to meet those people that haven't got a chance to see that. So I'm trying to do that and figure out like what I can do to get there right now. So hopefully we'll meet some more new people and get to party with everybody else that's out there in the world and get to jam together with all the stuff that I have been creating. That's my goal. That's what I want to do.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Okay, if you guys want Gracie Carol in your hometown,
let me know.
Reach out to her for real, because she's coming for you.
For real. I'm coming for you. Or reach out to me if you're coming to Nashville. Always let me know because I want you to be at my shows.
I love that you're so approachable. Like truly, like you want everybody to be around. You don't want anybody to not say something to you.
I will walk up to people if I kind of know them. If I don't know them, I will walk up to them and be like, you're awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you for being here. And it will catch them off guard. And it might not even be people that I should be talking to. Like, but I will still talk to them.
Yeah. Let's normalize that too. Like, can we normalize like, even if you're just walking through your day and you see somebody who like looks stunning, we say, if you're thinking it, tell them.
Tell them. It helps. It boosts people's like dopamine and confidence and self-esteem. And it's just the best. Like do something kind and they'll be like, I mean, that's where I learned it from. Somebody else did it to me. So I was like, that made me feel that way. I'm going to make somebody else feel that way.
It's like when you're in the Starbucks line or the Dunkin' Donuts line and somebody buys your drink, immediately you want to buy the person behind you their drink.
Yes.
Because it's infectious. It's kind. It's just the absolute most fun thing to do.
It really is.
Like when I am like of the means to do those things, I absolutely love to do that. It's like makes my day because like I like to be the first one that starts that. But
love.
that's happened to me like a good handful of times, like in my life where I'm just like, they're like, yeah, they paid for you. I'm like, that is phenomenal. Like, how long has this been going on?
Right.
Like in the line that day, like I have questions,
It's
but like
so amazing.
if you think about that in life and you just like take that with you, like whether it's at your shows or like in general, like you saying to somebody, hey, I think you look amazing today, and you don't know them, they're going to want to say that to somebody else when they see it. And I think that the world just needs to like go on doing that.
I agree. And it's
For
cool
sure.
because you can also see people who are like not feeling well in the day. Like you can tell when somebody is sad or depressed or like something's going on or they're angry. And the little things, like if they're sitting at a coffee shop and you see that, you're like walking by them, I'll say hi. I'll just be like, hi. And that changes everything for them. They're like, why'd
Absolutely.
that person say hi to me?
Right.
That's so nice of them.
Yeah.
Like, did they want to talk to me? You know, you never know.
Yeah.
It just changes everybody's mood, and
It does.
you
And
want
you
to
never
spread
know.
happiness and joy, and it's like the best thing ever.
Okay. Cheers to that for sure. Like I love this is amazing. I love talking with you because
I can't
like
stop.
this is where my brain is. No, I love this so much. Okay, this is my last question.
Okay,
it's
wait.
my favorite question. When do you feel most authentic and why?
When I'm on stage, I would say on stage or like making music, but sometimes when I make music, I don't really like, I'll get really frustrated, and I do love that. I love that feeling about getting frustrated and being mad if like something's not going right, or you hear something and you're like, it needs to change, and you don't know what it is. But that's also the beauty about it. But I would say the stage is definitely where I'm like my most self. Like I can be, I mean, people just are just looking at you with like big bright eyes, and that's where I feel like I can just like let out the happiness that I have and just want to show people. But that's also the hard thing about it, because if you're not feeling happy that day or just like trying to be happy, it's really not the same.
Right.
If you do it too much, if you overwork yourself.
Absolutely.
And I think that's also a lesson though, like I'm still being authentic by trying to be happy and letting people like let in the happiness that I have. Like they're helping me be happy too, but like it's definitely super, super hard if you're not that way.
For sure.
But
or
still,
if you're sick,
that's your
like,
authentic self still. So
Exactly.
it's like a battle, and it's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if you're sick, like
yeah, like and you're
not
but
the
like you
same.
but it's still so authentic because you're still showing up. You're still showing up to do what it is you need to do, and you're still showing up for people so that you can continue inspiring them to get through hard times when they're sick, when they're feeling down, when they're in a weird space.
Right.
So,
And even if I also want to say surrounding yourself with the right people brings out your true authentic self in your person. And if you feel like you're in a crowd where you can't really talk or say much, then you need to get out.
louder
can't
for the
do
people
that.
in the back.
Like leave. Like don't be there.
Yeah.
You're in the wrong spot. 'cause They're
Absolutely.
not letting you shine, you know.
Absolutely. Yeah. And then like there's always going to be conflict, but if you're feeling like crazy friction with people that are around you and you don't feel like you're growing. I saw
Mhm.
something this morning actually. It's weird that you say this because I saw something this morning and I sent it to like all of my friends
Well,
because I truly feel that my friends right now are like just such gifts. And like we've gotten to the place where if you're always going to invite these people to the party because they're your friends, but if they can't make it, that is because they're going through something.
yes.
And they
Let
don't
them
want
do it.
Yeah, exactly. Let them be who they are. Like there is nothing that says like I did this for you so you have to do this for me kind of
Yeah,
mentality.
I absolutely love that.
And that needs
And
to be normalized.
I definitely
too.
needed to hear that. So,
Yeah. And it's like cuz I've been learning a lot recently about like relationships being transactional, and to a point, yes, that's going to be a thing.
mhm.
And yes, you should show up for the people that you care about. But I don't want somebody showing up to something I'm doing if they're not okay to be doing that. Like if they're going through something, and we are friends with a lot of people
Exactly.
who are also artists, who are also going
Yes.
through big changes, who are also trying to accomplish major things.
Right.
And if you sit there and you think about it, like I think we both were talking about how we have the bad habit of like, oh my gosh, this person came to my round, so I have to go to theirs kind of situation. But like, that's not necessarily always true. And I know we feel like guilt and pressure about that. And a lot of the time I was putting myself into really overextended positions and not being my best self because I was going to too many things for other people and not doing enough of my own self-work. And so for me, when I see somebody not showing up to my stuff, I go, okay, they're working on themselves right now. And
let them hear that.
Yeah. And when they do that, like when you allow somebody to go off and be their best selves, they're coming back to you with their best selves.
Exactly.
Not their overextended selves.
Oh my gosh. I'm so happy you said that.
Yeah.
For real. Because like if you're putting somebody in a position and you're like telling them and forcing them and they want that, you want that person to be there, it's not going to be fun for anybody.
Yep.
Like you care, if you really do care about them, you want them to stay home. You care about their being. You want them to become a better version of themselves than what they're feeling right now.
Yeah.
Do not come.
Right. Exactly.
Like, don't be there if you don't feel okay.
Yeah. And
that's something like that's something that I wish people would tell me.
Exactly.
Too.
Be open about it. Be like, hey, like and even if they're not, that's okay too. Some people don't like, they're not there yet. They can't say it. And that's okay.
Yeah.
But that's where we have to be like our most like we need to give everybody the grace, if you will. Yes. To say, hey, like I know that this is how I feel when I'm in those spaces. So maybe that's where they're in those spaces. And like still keep your boundaries up, still do what you need to do. Like don't let somebody step on all over you. And but it's funny how close, how small your group of friends gets when you start
so true
putting up the boundaries, but also giving other people the space to do what they're gonna do. And that's okay. And I think it's really beautiful. The more I see it, the more weight has been lifted, I think, off of me and like my friends who have been doing the same thing.
Right.
So yeah.
Be a yes girl, but respect your boundaries.
Exactly.
That's what I like.
Yes, girl.
Like you have to say no sometimes. That's where the boundaries come in. But be a yes girl.
Yep.
That's what you want to do.
Absolutely. Say no when
So
you need
beautiful.
to. Say yes when you need to. And listen, most importantly, to when those moments need to be.
Oh, yeah. You have to.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we're trying to break a lot of people out of these people-pleasing methods on here.
Come on.
Let's
oh my gosh.
go. Well, oh my goodness, Gracie. Thank you so much.
Allison,
I can't express like enough how amazing that I think you are. And I appreciate you coming on here and being vulnerable and just like chatting with me about all of the songs and music that has made you. And I just, I love how in tune that you are.
Thank you.
So yeah,
me too.
It's amazing.
Cheers to that.
Cheers
One
to
more
that.
time.
Yeah. Thank you so much, everybody. The Gracie Carol. Go check out all of her stuff. And thank you so much. We'll see you next time on In Tune.